Welcome everyone. There are thousands of colors in Korean, just like there are in English. And this will not be a lesson about every single color in Korean, but it'll be an introduction to colors and how those work. The word for color is 색깔, or just 색. Just like English, most colors are nouns, and they're used just like in English. For example, you can say blue, I like blue. I like a noun. Or you can use a noun to say blue is a nice color. Or you can say I bought a blue bag. You can use colors in English any way you want. You can use them like a noun. You can use them like an adjective, a blue bag. You can use them at the end of the sentence, the bag is blue. But some colors in Korean are actually verbs as well. But first, let's focus on color nouns. So I'm going to be giving you the most common, at least some of the most common color nouns that you need to know in Korean. 검정색, black. 주황색, orange. 초록색, green. 보라색, purple. 회색, gray. 갈색, brown. If you just learn this list, you can use any of these as a noun with 이다, for example. You can say, the bag is black. 검정색이에요. It is black. Well, what is black? The bag, 가방. So you can use this color as is, just with the verb 이다 to say something is a color. This might sound obvious, like of course you could do that, right? You can do that in English, but it's not once you learn the other verbs we're going to talk about. But these ones can be. You can also use any of these words I gave you, these nouns, as adjectives, just like you can in English. 검정색 가방을 샀어요. So I bought a bag, 가방을 샀어요. What kind of bag did I buy? Well, we're going to add an adjective to describe the bag that we bought. And the adjective we're adding is just the color black. 검정색 가방을 샀어요. So I bought a black bag. So you can use any of these color nouns as adjectives, just like English. And of course, since these are nouns, you can also use them just like nouns. 검정색을 좋아해요. So I like, you would say a noun that you like. 검정색을 좋아해요. So I like the color black. You can use them anyway, just like you would in English. So I said that most colors are just nouns like this. There's nothing special you have to learn about them other than memorizing a vocabulary list and practicing. However, some colors in Korean are actually verbs. By verb, I mean descriptive verb. Let me give you an example. The word 검정색, as we learned, just means black. A verb, though, would not mean the color. Any verb that's a color would translate as to be that color. So if we had the color blue, for example, the color blue that we're going to learn is actually a descriptive verb. And the definition of the verb is not blue, but it is to be blue. Why that's important? If something's a verb and not a noun, that means in order to use it, you have to conjugate it just like a verb. So you have to conjugate them. You can't just stick them in a sentence. You can't say, I like blue using a verb. You would have to first change that verb into a noun. The conjugation for these is going to be very simple. I'm going to give you a cheat code for conjugating every single color. You don't have to worry about anything. The verb to be blue is 파랗다. Now, due to this letter, the 히읗 here, being followed by a base consonant here, 디귿, the sound actually becomes 파라타. 파랗다. The only time you're going to need to use this verb as 파랗다 is if you're like quoting something or you're writing a sentence in plain form where you don't conjugate descriptive verbs. Anytime you want to use a verb, though, in a sentence to describe something, you're going to need to conjugate it. So this one means to be blue. Although, funnily enough, when a traffic light turns green, in Korean, they say the traffic light turns blue. In order to use this, we're going to need to conjugate it, but fortunately, it's really easy. If you want to use it as a verb, normally you would use a noun with 이다. So you would say 검정색이에요, like the bag is black. Well, if you wanted to say the bag is blue, you couldn't say 파랗다이에요. What you would have to do is conjugate it. So you could say this. 가방이 파래요 means the bag is blue. Notice there is no 이다 verb. It's not 이에요. 파래요. So how do you get from here to here? Well, it's actually really easy. Anytime you're conjugating a color descriptive verb, you remove this and you attach the sound 에. And then you can follow it with 요. And that sound combines with whatever was there already. So you're left with 파, 레. This is going to be the exact same for every color descriptive verb. We're going to also want to be able to use it as an adjective. So not just saying the bag is blue, but what about I bought a blue bag? You're going to need to conjugate this into an adjective. It's also really easy. First, you're going to remove this hiat here. And then you attach this letter and you're done. 파랗다, you just get 파라. Now you have an adjective. This is all you have to do. So you don't really have to worry about conjugation because it's simple. To use it as a noun, to make the sentence, I like blue, you have to do something else to it. The word for color is 색깔. To use these as a noun, so to say I like a color, we have to do one more thing to it, and that is you just attach 색 to the end of an adjective. So literally, 파란색 means blue color. 파란, we already established, is the adjective form of to be blue. So a blue, but 색 means color, so now we have blue color. You could say something like this now, 파란색을 좋아해요. So I like literally blue color, but that just means I like blue. We've just changed 파랗다, to be blue, into a noun. What can we do with it now? This is the coolest part of today's lesson. It's a super cheat code. Because now we have a noun, you can use it like a noun. All of those original colors that I told you, which could be used with 이다, they could be used as an adjective, and they can be used as a noun. You can now use this all by itself. You don't even have to use this. Now, you still have to be able to understand 파랗다, 파란, 파래, 파래요. But when you're making your own sentences for practice, you don't actually have to even do this because this new color here can function as all three types. 가방이 파란색이에요. So the bag is blue, literally blue color. 파란색 가방을 샀어요. So 파란색, blue colored bag. So I bought a blue colored bag, or I just bought a blue bag. 파란색 가방을 샀어요. 파란색을 좋아해요. So I like the color blue, so I like blue. So now that you have a color that ends with 색, you can do anything you want, just like you could with our nouns. Sometimes you just really want to practice with colors and it can be really hard. It could break up your sentence if you're trying to conjugate it in your head. Like, oh, how do I conjugate this verb and how should I use it here? Instead, save yourself some work, use them as 색. And then later, when you get more comfortable with other colors, then you can also start practicing with the conjugated versions of the verbs. Now I'm going to tell you the most common descriptive verb colors that you should know. 파랗다, which is to be blue or a green traffic light. 빨갛다 is to be red. 노랗다, to be yellow. 하얗다, to be white. 까맣다, to be black. You might be wondering, wait, we already learned about 검정색 for black. So how is 까맣다 different than 검정색? Both of them mean to be black. Typically, if you're describing something that's nature or an animal, you'll want to use 까맣다 to describe it. So you would say 까만 고양이, black cat. But if you're describing pretty much anything else, you can use 검정색. And you can also use either of them for both purposes. Make sure you know these as well. Here are some more colors that you really should know. Next we have pink or 분홍색. Pink is just from the English word pink. So pink and 분홍색 both mean pink, but pink would be like you buy the new pink iMac, and 분홍색 would be like natural pinkish, but both mean pink. 흰색 is also white. 쥐색, literally mouse color, gray color, but it's not the same as 회색. This is a darker gray. 녹색. 녹색 is the same word as 초록색, green. However, 녹색 is not so commonly used. 붉다, dark red. So you can have 붉은색, 푸르다. This is typically used to say things are blue that are from nature, like just a natural blue water or sky. 푸르다 can also mean to be green. This would be for a mountain, something that has lots of grass or foliage. 살구색. 살구 is a apricot, kind of like this color. This is used to describe skin color. 연두색. 연두색 is a light green color. 남색, a navy blue or a dark blue. 하늘색. 하늘 means sky. So 하늘색 is a sky blue color. And these are some more words you should add in your vocabulary. 연하다 is to be light in the sense of not strong. For example, like a light flavor. or a light blue. And this is a verb, to be light. So if you wanted to say a light something, you need to change this into an adjective. So that would be 연한. The next one is 진하다. 진하다 means to be thick. So you can say thick as in like something strong, like it's a strong coffee. Not thick as in like consistency thick. And you can use this for colors as well. So you can say like 진한 보라색. It's like a strong purple. 연한 보라색, a light purple. And these are ways that you can further modify your colors. You can also say 진한 노란색 or 연한 노란색, light yellow or dark yellow. Thank you everyone for coming, and I will see you again next time as always. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.